All right, let's talk about something every single app developer runs into. How do you stop your code from becoming a total tangled mess the second your app starts to grow? Today, we're going to transform that chaos into clarity and build a really solid, scalable foundation for a professional React Native app.
You know the feeling, right? Your app starts out so nice and simple, but then you add a few more features, a couple more screens, some buttons, and before you know it, the code is just chaotic. What was once easy to manage is now this jungle of repeated logic.
So yeah, that's what we call the scaling code problem. In a nutshell, it's that exact moment when you realize that adding just one more button means you have to copy and paste this huge block of code, and that just feels wrong. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so look at the left. The code for one button seems fine, no big deal. But then look over on the right. To get 5 buttons, we've just duplicated that same chunk of code 5 times. The file is already getting cluttered. Now just imagine your boss comes over and says, hey, let's change the button color. You'd have to go hunt down and edit 5 different places and just hope you don't miss one. That's not just inefficient, it's a recipe for disaster. And look, the crucial point here isn't just that it looks messy. This kind of code is a total maintenance nightmare. It's hard to read, it's a huge pain to update, and every single time you copy and paste, you're creating a new opportunity to introduce a bug. We can do so much better. And the good news is, there is a much, much better way. The solution is to completely change how you think about your UI. Stop seeing it as one giant script and start thinking of it like you're building with Legos. We're going to create small, reusable UI blocks that just snap together to build our screens. In the world of React Native, these little Lego blocks are called UI components. Each component is its own self-contained piece of the user interface. It packages up its own appearance and its own logic. Think about it: a custom button, a profile picture, an item in a list. Each one can be its own smart, reusable little block. And getting this set up is incredibly straightforward. Seriously. First, you just create a new folder. You can call it Components. Then, inside that folder, you make a new file for your component. You define how it looks and what it does right there, in that one place. And from that moment on, you can import and use that component anywhere you want in your app, as many times as you need. Now, to make our components truly powerful, especially the interactive ones that people are going to tap all the time, we need a special tool from the React Native Toolkit. It's called Touchability Opacity. So what is Touchability Opacity? Well, think of it like a wrapper that can make almost anything interactive. You can wrap it around some text, an image, or even a whole complex card layout. And when a user taps it, it gives that subtle, professional-looking feedback where it briefly fades out. So you might be asking, why use this instead of just a standard button? Well, the answer is one word: control. You get complete creative control. You're not stuck with some default button style. You can make an entire row in a list tappable, just like you see in all the professional apps. It gives you that polished, native feel and handles the tap with a super simple on-press function. It's really the key to custom interactive design. Okay, so that's the theory, right? Build these small, reusable components with tools like Touchability. But what's the actual payoff? Let's take our chaotic screen from before and watch it transform into something clean and clear. Here's our starting point again. Remember this mess? This is the home screen with those 5 buttons, and each one has its own giant repeated block of code and styling. It's just cluttered and really hard to follow. And here is the result. Just look at how clean this is. All of that repeated junk has been replaced by a single, beautiful, self-explanatory tag: app button /. You can immediately understand what this screen does. All the complexity is neatly tucked away inside that component, right where it belongs. This is what clean, professional code looks like. So let's just recap what we've gained here. First, our code is dramatically cleaner and way easier to read. Second, maintenance is now a breeze. Remember that color change? Now you change it in one file, appbutton.js, and every single button in your entire app updates instantly. This makes development so much faster and gives you a truly scalable foundation for whatever you want to build next. So, by embracing components, you've brought real order to the chaos. Your UI code is now clean, it's scalable, and it's professional. But this leads us to the next big question. Your UI is organized, sure, but is it truly optimized? Are your lists loading as fast as they possibly could? We'll have to dive into that next time.